Kamala Harris dropping out of the 2020 Democratic race just a short time ago after rumors of turmoil in her campaign. Let's bring our political panel. Tim Chapman is the executive director of Heritage Action, and David Burstein is the founder of Run for America. Great to have you here. Quite a busy breaking news day. Kamala Harris, let's first go to you, David. What do you hear from Democrats about whether they're just disappointed or they maybe saw this coming?
Well, look, the folks I'm talking to are all pretty mixed, I would say, to be honest, because I think there were a lot of expectations for Kamala. There have been for some time. A lot of people were very excited about her, but, you know, the campaign really never delivered. And I think in a lot of ways, what I'm seeing is that she's a victim of a 28-person field. In another year, if there were 6 candidates running, I think she would have perhaps gained a lot of momentum. But it was really difficult in this campaign, which, by the way, now only has 15 people left in it. One more person drops out, and we'll be at equilibrium between the number of people who've dropped out and the number of people who are in.
That's a good point. We're watching President Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump, are just leaving Buckingham Palace now. They've been over in the UK working on the NATO meeting. Tim, what about your thoughts as this has happened today, that Kamala Harris has decided this is not going to be for her? You know, she started with a lot of buzz and a huge amount of enthusiasm back in January or February when she announced her campaign.
Yeah, I mean, she was out of central casting, right? She was the next, hope for the Democratic Party. But I think at the core of the problem with Harris was she never really established what her campaign was about. She didn't know why she wanted to be president. She just knew that she probably could fit that mold, right? Fit the mold that the Democratic Party was looking for. And I just don't think she established that up front, that this is why I want to be the leader of the country.
As we continue to watch the President and First Lady, they're getting ready to leave. It sounds like they're being serenaded by some beautiful music, which, of course, we always love the accompaniment as well. The President there having several meetings today dealing with NATO. I'm sorry, they are arriving at Downing Street now. They have left Buckingham Palace, so the reception there, arriving Downing Street. Of course, a big election happening next week in the UK. But in the meantime, we have our own election. Vice President Biden, former Vice President Biden, apparently said that he doesn't need Obama's endorsement. Let me read this to you, David. He said he doesn't need it because everyone knows I'm close with him. I don't need an Obama endorsement. I think maybe, David, he has to say that, but don't all of these candidates at the end of the day need his endorsement?
Well, sure. I mean, I don't think anyone would turn down an endorsement from the former president, who is still by far the most popular person in the Democratic Party. But obviously, his sort of cautious approach, I don't think he's going to get involved until quite late in the game. And look, I think that is, frankly, one of Biden's big selling points with African-American voters. They know that he was in there. He was in there early with Obama, and he stuck by him. And I think that means a lot to people, and his long record. And that, going back to Kamala, that's one of the big issues. People thought she would resonate with African-American voters, and she never really found that audience. Had she been able to do it and eat into Biden's lead, I think she would have had a much stronger campaign. But
Tim,
Biden's holding on strong to that.
If I could just break in, Tim, and have you switch gears here as the President and the First Lady arrive at Downing Street, and the President doing all of these NATO meetings as he was supposed to do, but impeachment alive and well here back home, and the Intelligence Committee just releasing its report. The president dismissing it through his press secretary. How do you think this is playing overall?
Well, I mean, look, I think you see the president overseas doing the job of the duties of the office. I think that's a good thing. And then I think what we see here at home is we see a Democratic Party that is bound and determined to finish this job that they wanted to start on day one of his presidency. And so I actually think the juxtaposition works pretty well for the president. I mean, you see what's going on right now in a lot of these swing states. We're looking through these swing states. We're looking at the polling data. The people in these swing states, working class Americans in general, who are not very ideological, don't have time for this. And so I think that juxtaposition, again, I think that works well for the president. They need to keep pounding the pavement, do their job as leading the country, and let the Democrats kind of run as far as they want to go on this impeachment thing, because I don't think it's going to end up working out for them.
And punch back where they can. But, David, I think you probably disagree. Do you think the Democrats are in a strong position going into this Judiciary Committee hearing tomorrow?
I think the facts are on the side of Democrats. I don't know if the politics are. The reality is, I think that we all know the president's going to be impeached in the House. And
you think they're going to have the vote?
Yes, absolutely. I think they're not walking away from it, and they've gone too far down the road really to be able to do that. I think actually pulling back now would be a problem for them, because it would look like they don't know what they're doing. And I think it's important because the facts matter here, and the charges are serious. But ultimately, the Senate's not going to convict, and that's going to be, I think, a positive for President Trump at the end of the day, because he'll be able to say he's been acquitted.
Tim, I'll give you a last word on that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They're not going to walk back on this. Unfortunately, they are beholden to their base on this. They cannot walk back. If they do, they're going to lose all sorts of momentum going into the midterms. But at the same time, like I said earlier, it's not playing well in those swing states, and that's going to be a real problem.
Well, I'm glad you're keeping an eye on that for us. A pleasure to have you on the show, Tim Chapman and David Burstein. Thank you.